Good audio quality is like orgasms and high-speed internet. Once you experience it, you can never go back. In this video, I'm going to discuss some of the ways that you can improve your audio quality when you are in front of an audience, such as I am right now, in front of a video camera going live on Facebook to discuss this topic. Now, you may be thinking, he is full of crap. Nobody cares. It doesn't matter. Well, in 2018, a group of researchers, Aaron Newman and Norbert Schwarz from the University of Southern California, did a research paper asking the question how audio quality influences perceptions of the research and the researcher. What they found is that what they did was they took an NPR recording and they played it back to an audience in good audio quality versus poor audio quality. When the audio quality is poor, meaning it is full of distortion and echo, the researchers' credibility, the speaker's credibility fell by a staggering 19%. And this kind of goes along the same lines as what George Lucas said. You know George Lucas, the guy who created Star Wars and the Lucas Sound Studios, famous movie maker. He said the audio quality is 50% of the movie-going experience. That's right. The sound, the audio quality is 50% of the movie-going experience. In my opinion, I think the quality of the sound, quality of the audio in any video presentation is more important than the image quality that you are seeing. Right now, you're probably watching me on a tiny little phone. Maximum video resolution it's at 720p. It's HD-ish, if you will. But I know I sound good because I've been working and I continue to work on my audio quality. Even though I have a sore throat, you can still understand me very, very easily. There's no reverb, there's no echo in this treated room. You can hear me easily and clearly, you can understand me. And when you are in front of a camera, when you try to sell something, when you have an idea that you're sharing, it would behoove you to sound your best, because when that audio quality falls short, your authority, your credibility, according to research, falls by a staggering 19%. All right, so some of the ways that you can sound better. Number one, it's not the microphone that you're using, it's not the technique, but where you are performing, where you're doing the recording. The environment in which you are performing, where you're speaking, matters a lot. If you are just recording a podcast and you're not in front of a camera, one of the best places to perform that recording is actually in your closet. You see, in an empty room with hard walls, sound travels, hits the walls, and then travels back and hits the microphone capsule. That delay causes what sounds like echo. It's actually called reverb or slapback. That hollow, echoey sound sounds like crap. I'm just going to be frank with you. Those people who are interviewed remotely on Fox, CNN, etc., whenever I hear that audio, typically the speaker is using the built-in microphone on a notebook computer, I can hear the echo in the room. Immediately, your credibility is shot. So where you perform the recording is extremely important. If you are going to be in front of a camera and you don't want to spend hundreds of dollars on these sound absorbing pads, and I have a custom one right behind me to absorb the reverb, if you don't want to spend the money to do this, record in an environment where there are fewer hard surfaces. And if you have a hard surface room, hang drapes, put a towel on the floor so that the reverb is decreased so you can sound your best. So treat the room, treat the environment. That is the first thing that you can do. Then Second recommendation I have for you is to use an external microphone. Please do not use the built-in microphone on a notebook computer. It sounds like crap. It picks up all the reverb in a room. And once you hear that echo, once you hear that reverb, the slapback, now that I brought this to your attention, you will never unhear it. Never unhear it. If you are going to be recording on using your smartphone, the built-in microphone, yeah, it can record in stereo, but it is still not as good because you're typically holding that smartphone an arm's length away from you. The best way to record audio is to have the microphone as close to the talent as possible, close to the mouth, close to the speaker. So when you're using a smartphone, if you can avoid using the built-in microphone, that is always best. I would recommend using a lavalier microphone. You plug something into the bottom of the smartphone, and the microphone is actually attached to your person. And if you look at newscasters, if you watch the news on CNN, MSNBC, all these newscasters have a lavalier microphone attached to their clothing. It's an omnidirectional microphone. It's okay. It picks up a lot of the ambient noise and ambient sound, but it's better than using the microphone that is built in to your smartphone. So treat your environment, use an external microphone, place that close to your mouth. And which brings to the third point, microphone technique. Microphone technique. Put the microphone close to the talent. If you can tolerate having the microphone in your shot, leave the microphone in a shot. You sound much better when the microphone is close to you than when the microphone is far away from you. All right? Close to the talent as much as possible. And if you want to use a shotgun mic that is just off frame, you can. But I will tell you, it is not going to sound as good as having a microphone close to the talent's mouth. The other mic technique that I will share with you is that you want to place the microphone kind of off axis. If you notice, this microphone is actually pointing up 45 degrees towards my mouth. It is not in front of me. Because when the microphone is in front of you, it picks up what's called plosives. So if I were to say Peter Piper picked a pickled pepper, you don't hear the pa, pa, pa when I'm speaking this way, and the microphone is slightly off axis. It is actually 45 degrees this way and 45 degrees tilted up. But when I'm speaking directly into the microphone and say, Peter Piper picked a pickled pepper, you hear the pup, pup, pup. And that is kind of grating to the ear, to the trained ear. When you're producing a podcast, when you're in front of a camera, you want to put that microphone slightly off axis and not directly in front of you. If you notice, there's no pop filter. There's only a windscreen right here. Granted, this particular microphone has a pretty good pop filter built in. There's no external pop filter, that round disc, that ugly looking thing in front of the microphone. There is no pop filter. And I can use a different microphone. If I place it off axis like this, you do not need a pop filter. That thing is obtrusive in a camera shot, and you don't need it when you have the appropriate microphone technique. Lastly, when you're using a microphone, know in which direction you need to talk into the microphone. Some microphones, you have to talk into the end of the microphone. These are called end address microphones. Some microphones, you hold it up, you want to talk into the side of the microphone. Those are called side address microphones. There are microphones that allow you to change the orientation, the pickup pattern of the microphone. Whichever one you get, understand in which direction you need to talk into the microphone. There is a fairly popular microphone called the Blue Yeti, and it is pervasive. I see it all the time. People talk to the end of that microphone when that microphone is actually a side address microphone. You want to talk into the side of the microphone, not the end of the microphone, not the end of the microphone. It makes you sound like ass, and you look silly. You're supposed to be talking into the side and not to the end. So understanding the type of microphone that you're using and know how to use it appropriately. And lastly, this is a little bit deep into the weeds. you want to appropriately gain stage the microphone. For instance, the level of the microphone. I can turn the level down. Now, this is a little bit too low, right? And this is maybe a little bit too high. But if I put it down right about here, this is the appropriate level for this microphone in this environment. It sounds the best. So appropriate gain staging is important. And just like anything else, if you don't have the experience and you haven't heard the difference, you're going to remain ignorant of the difference. But now that you hear it, you can never unhear it. If you have any questions, please ask me. I would love to help you. I've gone through this microphone thing, the audio thing. I've been struggling with this and I'm still working on it. I'm still trying to understand how a compressor works, how a low pass filter, how the equalizer works in this particular environment using this particular mixer to produce this type of sound. So I'm still struggling with it. I'm still constantly working to figure out how I can sound best. Granted, I have a sore throat, but despite that, you can still understand what I'm saying. If you have any questions on how to sound your best, please feel free to reach out to me. I have helped so many people. And I also try to help those people who sound like ass on their podcast. I just hope that they would actually listen and make the changes so they can sound the best. Come on, in a podcast, it's all about audio. Please work on your audio. Make sure you sound credible. Make sure you don't lose your authority and authenticity because of poor audio quality. So any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them below. I appreciate the opportunity to share this with you. Thank you for the privilege of your time. Take care of yourself and take care of each other. Bye-bye.